All right, so in this short video, we are going to have an introduction to the order of operations. We've been studying the order of operations in class, and as you are doing your problems at home, if you need just a short reminder of what we discussed in class, this video will hopefully serve that purpose. So in class, we've discussed how order matters when I solve math problems. I've got to make sure that I follow the right order. Otherwise, we could end up having the same math problem, and we can end up with a different answer. So we think about the word PEMDAS, or some of us have decided to think about GEMDAS, the difference only being that P and that G, which we'll discuss here. In PEMDAS, I think of it almost like a hopscotch board. Some of those steps are single steps, and some are side-by-side steps. With PEMDAS, I'm going to start with my P. The P stands for parentheses, or some of us are thinking G for grouping symbols, because really this step includes all grouping symbols. I look through my mathematical equation, I find any parentheses, brackets, or braces, and I solve them in that order. I'm going to resolve my parentheses first. Anything that I see in parentheses, I'm going to solve first. Then I'm going to move on to brackets. Then I'm going to move on to braces. Grouping symbols make equations the most important part of the problem. They make numbers VIPs. So whatever I see in my grouping symbols, I'm going to solve first. My next step is exponents. We've talked about how exponents are the little bitty number that packs a punch. They are like the bossy number. My exponent, so in this case my 3, tells me to multiply my 2 together 3 times. So I solve 2 to the power of 3 by multiplying 2 times 2 times 2. It's the little number that packs a punch, the little number that tells the big number, the base, how many times to multiply itself together. After I have taken care of any parentheses and exponents, I'm going to move on to the bottom steps of the hopscotch board, and we see that these are side-by-side steps. Because I'm going to look through my problem, and I'm going to find any multiplication and division, and then that has the same importance. So I'm going to solve it, whatever order I see, from left to right. I'm going to do the same thing with addition. Those have the same importance, so I solve them from left to right. So let's take a look at a problem. Let's think about our order of operations, and let's make sure that we're following the order of operations as we solve this expression. I have 6 times, then in parentheses, 8 plus 1, and close my brackets, subtract 10. I'm going to put this all inside braces so that we have every single grouping symbol all in this one problem. So, of course, as we've discussed, every time we're going to rewrite PEMDAS, and we're going to follow PEMDAS as our order of operations. So I'm looking through my problem, and I do see parentheses. Parentheses say, do me first. Whatever is in parentheses, I'm going to add my V to connect those numbers I'm working with. I'm going to write the answer to that. 8 plus 1 equals 9. I'm underlining everything else, and I'm going to bring it down. Now remember, once we've resolved what's in parentheses, those parentheses can disappear. I don't need to rewrite my parentheses. I'm going to rewrite everything else so that I will not forget to work with any of my numbers. And this is my new expression now. This is what I'm working with. I'm still in the P step because I still have brackets. Whatever is in brackets, I'm going to resolve next because brackets say do me second. 6 times 9 equals 54. Because I've solved everything in my brackets, those can disappear, and I'm simply going to bring down everything else. Now I'm left with 54 minus 10. That's still in braces, so I'm still really in the P step of PEMDAS. I'm going to solve 54 minus 10. That gives me 44. I'm going to circle that as my final answer. So in this problem, we never left the P step. Everything that we solved was in a grouping symbol, and those grouping symbols guided the order that we solved our problem in. Because whatever is in parentheses, I do first. Whatever is in brackets, I do second. And whatever is in braces, I do third.